Those cracks look pretty bad. I love 20-minute hot mode. You ever see my skim coating with the paint roller trick? A skim coat ought to fix that. I can show you all the tools you're going to need to fix that. Wallpaper removal, you might want to prime that wall before you skim it. Put a couple screws in it first, then retape it. Everybody that likes sanding drywall, raise your hand. You ever been so angry you punched a hole in the wall? You're going to need 1¼ inch coarse drywall screws to be able to attach to the wood. Are you a DIYer, contractor, painter, handyman? Just kind of curious. Leave me a hashtag drywall tube if you're enjoying these videos. You can do it too, just by a little practice and watching these videos. That looks like water damage. Is your roof fixed yet? A skim coat will make those walls look new again. That looks like a knockdown texture. A skip trowel texture is done by hand. Orange peel texture looks like the peel of an orange. Caulking will not fix that crack. Leave me a hashtag drywall tube if you're enjoying these videos. Need to match a popcorn ceiling? I've got a video for that. I love drywall. If you've got a painted popcorn ceiling, just skim coat it. It'll never scrape off. I like stainless steel drywall knives the best. I've got a whole playlist just for you. I love drywall. Try using a paint mixer to thin down your joint compound. You can match that texture with a hopper and compressor. Give that knockdown texture sponge a try for small knockdown repairs. The fine threaded drywall screws are for metal framing. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also click the bell notification. Bam. Are we unlocked? Yes. Unmuted? Yes. Can you hear me? Neil, can you hear me? D. Niman, what's up? Jeff Ostroff, back again. Stoked on that. Just going to see who's in the chat, who's here at the live stream. Let some people come in before we get into it. Construction Cronies, hey Chris, thanks for stopping by. Elsa fan, what's up? Boom, yes, you can hear me. That's good. Neil. Oh, the first super chat of the day. Chris at Construction Cronies. I'm going to write these down. I know I missed a lot of super chats last week. I was a little flustered, but hopefully it's going to go a little better this time around. Once we worked out the bugs last week, we had a good time. Chris, $10. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Who else we got in the chat? M&M Precision Painting. Glad you could make it. Thanks for commenting on my videos and watching them and sticking around. Roger Wakefield, the man, the myth, plumbing master of the universe. How you doing, sir? Who else we got in here? Gear Vlogs, early to the stream. Thank you, sir. HFS, the artist home. Thank you for showing up for this again. It was nice having you last week, and we're going to do it all again this week. Appreciate that super chat, Chris. Randy, the dirty white boy. How you doing, man? How's the weather in Hawaii? Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate that. TK Mills. Yeah, cover stain kind of has a tannish tint, doesn't it? Just a little bit. But anyways, today I'm going to be talking about my 3 favorite primers that I always keep on the van. I can pretty much tackle any project with these primers. Maybe give it a couple more minutes before I start talking about them. I got the Spray Bomb Kills, which is good for little jobs. Water stains, it's an oil base. Always got to use a respirator when you're spraying this stuff, or rolling it on since it's an oil base. Roger Wakefield says it looks good and sounds great. Hey, I'll take that. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the feedback. You know how it is. You're always kind of curious. Can people even hear me? Can they see me? Thank you. Jeff Ostroff, $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Paul, thanks for the tips on Guards Primer. I used it many times with success and put up a video of me using it on a bathroom removal over the summer. Yeah, man, that stuff's like the miracle primer. Especially for like the torn brown drywall paper, anything like that. I love it. Yeah, what time is it, D, in your area? Jeremy. Yes, sir. Paul, I'm here. $1 million question. Why they call it drywall when you use liquids to weave the wall? It's drywall because it needs to stay dry and it's on the wall. Bam. Duty Ron. Great to be here. I'm happy to be a part of the family. Thank you, Duty Ron. Oh, I guess I might have missed Duty Ron's super chat, $20. So glad to be friends with such a great guy. Thank you. Thank you, Duty Ron. I'm going to write these down real quick. Jeff O, $5. Duty Ron, the 20 spot. Thank you, sir. That's awesome. Scott Fichter. Yeah, baby. He is live. How you doing, Scott? Did you have fun in Vegas? Ghost Pirate. Stoked on the people showing up. Thank you for coming to the stream. Well, I guess we'll just get into it. Everybody's here. Sure, we'll get some stragglers. Hey, if you're lurking out there, Haley, Dawn, come on now, make a comment. Let's see some comments from all the lurkers. All right, so we're going to get into it. Like I said, I've got 3 primers that I keep on the van all the time. That's the Kills, Guards, and a Zinsser 123 latex primer. So we're going to talk about the oil-based primers first. Start with the small stuff. These cans, probably about $7 or so at your favorite big box store. I like to use those for water stains, small water stains. I also, when doing repairs, I'll spray the Kills on the joints where the existing is to keep the dust off. That way you get better adhesion with the joint compound or hot mud or whatever you're using. So I love the spray cans of Kills. Quick, convenient. I do want to say it's super crucial to wear a respirator when you're doing this kind of work. And a dust mask when you're doing repairs. Crucial. You got to take care of your lungs. We're going to get into some Q&As after I discuss these primers. So just want to give you a heads up on that. I'm not really looking at the chat right now. Like the Urban Explorer said, if you got a question, title your question or hashtag question before your questions, and we're going to get into those questions after this. So this is good for small stuff. You don't want to do a whole room and use 10 cans of this. That'd be ridiculous. If you're going to do anything bigger than that, you want to use, like if you got a big water spot and the drywall sound and not where you can poke your finger through it, you need to replace it if you can do that. But if it's just a big water spot, you can roll on the Kills, open the windows, get some ventilation, roll it on. And the only way to clean this stuff up if you get it on something or yourself is with mineral spirits or paint thinner. Same thing. Paint thinner, mineral spirits, same thing. You want to just roll this on depending on if you have a texture, probably use a 3/4 inch nap on your roller. Or if it's smooth, you can use a 1/2 inch nap to roll it out. Again, it's going to cover water spots and it seals real good. Now, there's other primers that are maybe a little better. This is oil based. Then there's a shellac base, which is a bins made by Zinsser. That's for smoke damage and also works on water stains too. But I keep the Kills around because it's just what I like to use. Now, if I'm doing a popcorn removal job, I always prime those drywall ceilings with the Kills original oil-based stain blocking primer, because if you don't, the tape joints tend to yellow out on you. So, and if you retexture them, they're going to yellow out. I got some super chats coming in here. I don't want to miss those. M&M Precision Painting, thank you for that $10 super chat. I'm going to write that down. M&M, $10. Thank you so much. Scott Victor with $2. $2 super chat. Thank you, Scott. Thank you for stopping by. I am going to go live with you one day and do an interview on your channel. You've asked me, and I'm finally able to do that. So thank you for the super chats. So anyways, if I'm doing a bunch of popcorn removal or a bigger job, I'm going to break out the airless and I'll have a 5-gallon bucket of the Kills and I'll just spray it out. That eliminates any yellowness or anything like that. I know I've got some other contractors in here. I'm sure if you do popcorn removal, you have seen the yellow come through. It looks like racing stripes at every joint. So that's no good. Customer's not happy, you're not happy. So I always say that the Kills is like a insurance policy for me for a nice white ceiling. Nobody likes yellow ceilings. So that's the oil-based primers for water stains. Then we're going to get into the... So this stuff is unbelievable. It's latex, and it's great for sealing brown paper. Like if somebody... I've got a video where I went to a house and they were getting tile and they pulled all their baseboard off without scoring the top. So it pulled the paper off the drywall. So what you need to do is use the guards, and it seals it and locks that brown paper underneath the gray paper of drywall. If you don't do that, anytime you put joint compound or paint on it, it's gonna bubble up. People get so frustrated. Yes, the oil-based Kills will work for sealing that up, but not as good as the guards. The guards made by Zinsser is like unbelievable for that. So definitely use the guards. It's also good for wallpaper removal. Check this chat. All right. You do it. How you doing, man? Nice to see you, sir. Thanks for stopping by. So yeah, wallpaper removal, a lot of times it's hard to get the glue off, or when you pull the wallpaper, it peels the drywall paper down to the brown paper. So the guards fixes that to where you can just mud over it. It is a little watery, so you want to not use a thick nap on your roller. You just kind of, like if you just got some spot areas, I like to use a cigar roller or a Wizzy, depends where you're at, what it's called, but like maybe a 1/2 inch nap on that. And like I said, it's super watery, so you want to be careful not to splatter it everywhere. Best thing to do whenever you're working is use a plastic to cover the floor, personal items of the customers. So even if you do have a little splashing around, it's not going to get on people's stuff. So the guards is key. Home Depot used to carry that, but I don't know if they do anymore. There's another product out there called Pro 999, which does the same thing, and I know that Home Depot and Lowe's sell that. Sherwin-Williams used to have a sealer. It's called Drywall Conditioner, so you might be able to get some there as well. But the guards, I do have it in my Amazon influencer store. I'll put a link to that up here shortly once I get into the chat, and maybe I'll pull that up and show you. And also, you can go there just to see the information and what these products do. I'm kind of giving you a quick rundown on what they do, but there's more information on these products. So maybe I'll pull that up. I'll share the link, and we'll go from there on that. So that's the guards. Love the stuff. Always got it in my van. Always use it. And then finally we have, this is a product made by Zinsser as well. It's the Zinsser 123 primer. It is a latex. And so if you're doing spot repairs or doing a bunch of repairs and you don't have the guards, this works great. You can just spot prime and keep moving pretty quick with this. It cleans up with water, just like the guards does. Easy cleanup. You use water, no big deal. Again, the oil bases and shellac bases need a paint thinner or mineral spirits to clean that up. But even like new drywall, I like to use this over the PVA primers. That's just like putting water with a little glue in it. So I like to use a good heavy bodied primer. That way you don't have to keep using a bunch of top coat. Because you use the PVA, you're still going to have to prime it anyway. So what I like to do on repairs for spot priming is just use the Zinsser 123. Now, if just for the DIYers out there, if you're just painting over a already painted surface, there's no need in priming whatsoever. So you can just start painting. I mean, if you got a high gloss or something, maybe, but just you don't need to prime everything every time you paint. When you're doing repairs like a raw material like the joint compounds, that needs to be sealed up. Reason being, your paint's not going to stick to it good, and then when you get back to looking at your repairs after you've painted them without priming them, you're going to be able to see exactly where that repair is, because the paint absorbs differently into the repair and raw materials than it does to the already painted surface, because the painted surface is sealed up already. So definitely spot prime any repairs with a Zinsser. You can use any of these products. Even Guards is a good primer. Turn that off. So you can use the Guards to prime repairs. You can use the Zinsser 123, and you can also use the oil-based primer for that. So those are the 3 primers that I keep on my van all the time. There might be some better ones. Let me know in the chat what primers you use and what you use them for. And also, if you got any questions, you can just ask me and I'll try to respond to everybody's questions. Again, use the hashtag question before your question. That way we can grab them and see them a lot easier than just the chat cruising. So 1, 2, 3, Zinsser primer is the bomb. And it doesn't hurt to wear a respirator using latex primers or latex paints either. It just is kind of a pain in the butt. So do we have any questions in the chat for me? And who else have we got here? Dawn Harrell. Where is my girl Dawn? I missed your super chat last week, Dawn, and I apologize for that. I did make a community post thanking every one of my super chatters last week. I did go through and get all the names of my super chatters. So let me see if I've got any questions here. Yeah, hit that thumbs up button, please. Thank you, Duty Ron. And thanks for running my link. So we got Jeremy's in here. Janine A. LOL lurking. Caught ya. Thank you for making a comment. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you showing up. We got Ghost Pirate. My boy Roger Wakefield. The Urban Explorer. Show some love to the moderators because they're always working and trying to help everyone. And also running links. Who else we got in here? Is D. Nimmin still in here? I'm going to give D. Nimmin a wrench. And if you haven't seen Roger Wakefield's plumbing videos, he's got how-tos, he's got videos for contractors. The man is a professional. Much respect for Roger Wakefield. Thank you for running the Amazon link, Neil. It is an affiliate link, and I do get a small commission with no extra cost passed on to you. So use that link. If you go to that link, it's good for 24 hours. So any shopping you do on Amazon, I get credit for the 24 hours after you've went to my influencer store. So that's pretty cool. Again, you do it's here. How you doing, John? Thank you for showing up. HFS Zinsser bin primer is what I use on furniture before I paint it. It's the only primer I've found that stops tannins from coming through. Yep. That's a fact. It's a little more pricey than the Kills, but it's a good product and I have used it many times. Dawn Harrell says, great information. Thank you, sweetie. What about Haley? Is she in here? Sherry, how you doing, Sherry? I have found the alcohol-based primer by Zinsser works good for nicotine stains. Yeah, that's a good one too. The Kills does work, but I'll have to agree that the bin is a little bit better for that. Donald Batesi, how you doing? Yeah, I need a cup of coffee. Jeff Ostroff, guards goes on like milk. Very watery. Be careful. It will run down the wall. Fact. Slim Jim roller. Cigar roller. Wizzy. Yes, ma'am. Jeff Ostroff uses the foam hot dog roller for guards. Yep. M&M Precision Painting. I generally use Sherwin-Williams conditioner. Yeah, that stuff works good. For sure. I'm not a big fan of Sherwin-Williams, but the drywall conditioner they got works well. Jeff Ostroff, I order guards on Amazon. HD does not have it. I know they used to carry it. I don't know why they do, but they do carry the Pro 999, which is just as good. M&M Precision Painting says they still have it. What? The guards or Sherwin-Williams has the drywall conditioner? Guards is better, says Yenier Rodriguez. Yeah. Janine says Maynard's has it. We don't even have Maynard's around here. Donald Batesi, 123 primer. Yeah, that's good stuff. It really is. Yeah, thank you, Duty Ron. Please share this stream out. Let's see how many people we can get in here. I appreciate that. Share it out on Twitter, Facebook. Kind of hard to share stuff on Instagram. You Do It has a question. Can you roll that Zinsser on your monitor so we can see what it looks like? No. Nice try, John. Sherry Specter, cannot wait to skim coat the entire ceiling. That sounds like fun. Get some video. M&M Precision Painting, PVA is cheap. Yeah, I don't even use it. I hate it when the builder specs that out and you got to come behind people and paint over that. Construction cronies. Paul, do you tint your primer to 15% of the wall color? Actually, I tint it 70%. 70%. That way you can see the top coat as it goes on, because there's still a variance of 30%. So I do 70% on my primers. Or just get it close, 15%, 50%. Who else we got? Thank you, D. Hit that like button. Jeff Ostroff, Roger Wakefield is always talking crap. Yep, he talks poop every Monday on a live stream. I try to always make it to Roger's live stream. Also, D. Nimmin, great mobile content creator. If you're creating videos on your phone. A lot of people are doing that now. Check out Dean Nimon's channel. You won't be disappointed. Still going through the chat here. Here's a question from Murph T3. Any recommendation to eliminate brush strokes when painting trim with semi-gloss? It always seems to dry too quickly as I'm brushing it on. Even when I put on heavy, I get brush strokes. Yeah, there's a product called Floetrol or Penetrol, depending on what you're using, whether it's an oil base or a latex. So you can go to Lowe's, Home Depot, Maynard's probably has it, Sherwin-Williams has it. You either need a Penetrol or a Floetrol, and it thins it out a little bit and makes it a lot smoother. Also, you want to use a quality brush. Make sure you're using a good brush like a Purdy or a Worcester or something like that. Brushes are important. You don't want to buy a cheap brush. Not saying you do, but the brush is important. And you don't want to keep going over areas. You know, you want to get it on and let it flow, and it'll level out. I hope that helps, Murph. Renaissance Man, hey, how you doing, man? Know you from Construction Cronies live streams. Watched a few videos, and everyone is doing it different. Some use plaster, some use hot patch. I have a huge house to fix. Don't want to call back. Well, I don't use plaster unless plaster's already in the home. And then you can also use drywall. Haley is here. How you doing, girl? Yeah, you don't want to call back, but you don't use plaster unless they already have plaster. Or you can also fudge it in with drywall and joint compound. But like professional plasterers would say never do that. So, Haley P. You're welcome, Murph. Glad that could help you out. So you got a big job going, Sherry, where you're going to have to skim out a bunch of ceilings. Sounds like fun. I know you've watched my skim coating videos, even skim coating with the paint roller trick. So put them to use. Janine, I'm going to finish my basement, so I'm learning all I can from you and your videos. Great information. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I like putting out information and giving back. The industry's been good to me, and I just feel like I can help people so they're not spinning their wheels, making big mistakes, hiring the wrong contractor. It's just part of it. The more you give, the more you get. And I love giving. Glad my videos are helping you out. Sherry Spectre. I don't care for Sherwin-Williams. I prefer Coronado paints. Yeah, Sherwin-Williams, I guess they sold to a Chinese company or something, so it's nowhere as good as it used to be. I always get banding or flashing along the or picture framing. Whenever I cut in, you can always see the cut-ins. It's almost translucent. So I agree. No Sherwin-Williams for me. Hold on. Saw Urban Explorer posted someone's question. Also, any recommendation to eliminate brush strokes when painting? Yep, got that one. Matt Sully, how you doing? Thanks for coming to the stream. If you got a question, ask it. If you got some information, share it. Sherry Specter, always end your stroke in the wet and don't overbrush. Yep. Sherry's a professional painter. She's always got some good comments on the videos, and she also helps people in the comments. If I can't get to them, I see her in there answering some questions. So thank you, Sherry. Question from M&M Precision Painting. Prime before or after texture? This will stir the pot. You know, you're supposed to prime before you texture. That way you have a continuous surface that's all the same. For me, like if I'm doing a skip trowel texture, the reason why you're supposed to do that is because the joint compound on new drywall, typically you're just going to be texturing new drywall. So the joint compound absorbs differently than the paper on the drywall. So it'll suck the water out or moisture out just a little bit, but you can see a variation sometimes. But when I'm doing a skip trowel texture, I prefer to texture right over drywall and the joint compound. It seems to pull better. That's my opinion with that. But if you're doing a knockdown or an orange peel, yeah, it's better to prime before you texture. I'm sure you already know that, Eminem. You're just trying to stir the pot. But true. Renaissance Man talking to Urban Explorer. You're supposed to have brush strokes. I use a roller and then back brush to get the stroke marks. If you don't want any, use a foam brush. Yeah, the foam does not leave strokes like a brush, but I like using a brush better. I'm a professional painter, so I can fly with a brush. And here, talk about stirring the pot, Renaissance Man. Oh no, M&M Precision Painting. Do you cut in first or roll first? On the first, if I'm doing 2 coats, I'll roll first, then cut in. Then I'll cut in again and do the second coat of roll. That stirs the pot a lot of times too, since you're into that. Use Floetrol or Penetrol. Yep. Hello, Leela. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. How'd your live stream go today? Appreciate you stopping by mine. I could not make it to yours. I had previous engagement that I had to go out and get back to do this live stream. So I apologize for that. I will catch your next one and watch the replay of your first live stream. My first live stream was last week, and it went pretty good. It really did. I forgot to unmute my mic at first, but other than that, it went good. I'll never hear the end of that from Neil. And check some more of this chat. Jeff Ostroff, when we buy all our baseboards, we lay them down on the concrete floor and spray paint them. Much better use of time. Yep, just got to make sure there's not any dust or anything on that floor. You're going to have to shop vac it or something, because when you're spraying your airless, that stuff just sends everything airborne. So I'm sure you know that, Jeff. Just giving that information out for everyone else. Asevreed, how you doing, man? Thank you for sharing out my stream last week over on Contractor Talk. I went over there and saw that. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming back to this live stream. I don't know if you caught my little presentation about the different primers. Watch the replay. Basically talked about kills, spray can of kills, a gallon of the Kills original oil base, and then how to use the 5-gallon buckets. Talked about guards, said there's an alternative Pro 999. Talked about Zinsser 123 latex primer. Who else we got going in here? Outdoors with Eric. How you doing, bro? Thanks for making it to my second live stream. Everybody be sure to show some love to the moderators. Check out their channels. We got some epic channels in here moderating. Roger Wakefield, the Urban Explorer, You Do It. Oh, you're Sherry, you're going to be skim coating all the walls too. You might need to use that paint roller trick. Haley saying hey to Neil. Me and Haley got to meet Neil in Los Angeles at Vid Summit. Also met Roger Wakefield in person. We're friends online, but you get to know these people. But we finally got to meet them out in California at Vid Summit. You Do It. We met. Who else was out there? Roger. Duty Ron said he's going out to Vid Summit next year. Looking forward to that. M&M Precision Painting. I use a 4-inch roller and get as close as I can to match the stippling of my 9-inch roller. So I never get Halloween or picture framing. I'll back roll before my cut-in dries. Yep. Arthur Moorhead, how you doing, man? This is my second live stream. I know you live stream. Glad you could stop by and check it out. All right, let me try something here. I'm going to try and pull up my store. Yeah, so here's the store. It's the Amazon influencer link that Neil, the Urban Explorer, has been running. And I've kind of got it at the beginning, the Kills. Unfortunately, they don't sell gallons of the Kills original. They only have quarts. So, but Lowe's, Home Depot, Maynard's, they all sell gallons, 5 gallons. Here's the bin primer, which is a gallon. Also have the spray bin, which works like the Kills, water spots, smoke, all that. I've also got the respirator. Let me get over here. I've got the respirator right here in the store. Here's the guards. Here's the Pro 99.9 RX 35, which is just like the guards. Zinsser 123 latex primer. It says it's stain blocking, but it really doesn't block that many stains. I also have a plaster weld. We were just talking about plaster. If you're going to be using a joint compound, doing repairs or something over a plaster, you want to go ahead and use this product, the plaster weld, because there's different compounds within plaster, and that's going to seal it up. I've got the Never Miss, which is you add color to your mud, so when you go back to sand, if after you've done touch-ups, you know where you've been, because after you do touch-ups without that, then you don't know, it all blends and looks the same. I do have a video that I put out where I use blue chalk in my joint compound, and that pretty much works the same. This is a better alternative. I've got asbestos test kits for anything Like if you're working on something that was built before 1982, you want to test it for asbestos and lead. But asbestos, they stopped making it in the US or putting it in paint or popcorn. Popcorn ceilings are notorious. They stopped putting that asbestos in 1978, but the manufacturers were allowed to make a backstock, which took about 2-3 years to get rid of. So I just say 1982 to be safe. So you never want to disturb a popcorn ceiling that was applied before 1982. We also have a lead test kit. You always need to check that. If a house has plaster, you definitely need to test for lead paint, because that was in all the paint. Also before 1978, there was a good chance that there could be lead. Back in the day, they used the lead-based paints for trim. A lot of door frames, doors, and baseboards have that. Got the knockdown texture sponge for small repairs. Got plenty of videos of that. I've got the Lexan knockdown tool. I've got the patches 6x6 that I used in that I punched the wall video. If you haven't watched that video, there are some crazy comments in the I punched how to repair a hole punch in the wall video. I've got tools, walkboards, green glue for soundproofing, 20-minute mud. These receptacle patches are awesome if you do miscuts or anything. Super easy to use. Heat guns, compressors, hoppers, the Delco banjo. I've got everything you need. Here's the roller nap that I use to roll on skim coat. So go check it out. I'm sure the Urban Explorer, a couple other moderators are running it. Here's the paint brushes that I use. The Purdy 3-inch flat. I don't need a fancy brush. I don't need an angle sash. I don't need any of that. I can cut in anything pretty much with the 3-inch Purdy. Lambskin rollers. Let me get back here and make sure everybody's still here. Farmall Fanatic. Let me get back, see if I missed something. Come back on screen. Getting all high tech. All right. That worked. See what we got. D. Nimmon still in the house. Thank you, brother. Checking the chat. Sounds like your live stream went good. That's awesome. Renaissance man, I only wet tape when hot mudding. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll tell you what. I like the Fibofuse. Just happen to have some right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. Fibofuse. This stuff is unreal. You don't even need to wet this. But I always use paper tape in the corners. Renaissance man says you sell that plaster weld. I'll have to check that out. I'm in need it. Yep. It's there as well. Like I said, it's an affiliate link through Amazon, my influencer store. I get a small commission and nothing's kicked back on you, or you don't pay more. It's the same price as it would be. So Ralph's Trucking hates popcorn ceilings. Get rid of that. Been at it for 50 minutes here. Renaissance Man asks, should I use the plaster weld if I'm level 5ing the plaster walls, or just use the 3-foot wide fiber tape? I'd use the plaster weld, unless there's a bunch of cracks. If there's cracks, like how older plaster does, I'd use the 3-foot wide fiber fuse. But if there's no cracks, there's no need for the fiber 3-foot wide tape or whatever it is. What else we got? Blood X. How you doing, man? Thank you so much for stopping by. How did you find the stream? Pow, Paul, bro. Right on, Blood X. Oh, here's Ghost Pirate's question. Do you recommend watering down the tape or leaving it dry? I water it. Just making sure I'm doing it right. Yeah, a lot of people do that. So yeah, it's not a problem for paper tape. But like I said, the fiber fuse, you don't have to do that. And the fiber fuse is so much stronger. How you doing, Cruiser Mac? Some great people in here. Thank you for showing up to the live stream again. Ruben Cortez. The thing I have a problem with is too much sanding after floating. Need advice. What you need to do is, how big of a trowel or knife are you using? And keep it thin. Do multiple coats and not try and get it all done at one time. A lot of times people just try and get it up there and know they have to sand. I rarely have to sand. We do texture though. If you got smooth walls or ceilings, you're gonna have to do some sanding. But I myself can keep it pretty tight to where I can just scrape after stuff's dried and barely any sanding. Sometimes no sanding. Like with the skip trowel texture, I rarely have to sand, I just scrape. Knockdown, pretty much the same. Orange peel texture, you're gonna need to fine tune it a little more. I hope that helped. What else we got here? Arthur Moorhead. True artist right there. Sherry, I use the fiber fuse for everything. You know, I use it pretty much for everything, but I like a nice crisp corner with a nice 90-degree corner. I don't know, old school still on the corners, so I use paper tape for corners. As Sever Reed asks, question, I'm working on a Reno this week where I have to remove texture in a kitchen, but stop it at the living room. What's the best way to create a transition between a skim and existing texture? What I like to do, great question, is I just tape it off. I'll, wherever the texture is and you're going to a smooth, I'll just run a tape, blue tape. The best thing to do is take a level and a pencil or a laser level, and you'll have a nice line to tape to. And you want to just stay a little, the laser level works better because there's no mark. If you have one of those, use a laser level, and those work great for getting the tape perfectly straight. I hope that helped. Ghost Pirate says, much love to the moderators. Yes, much love to the moderators. You're welcome, Ruben. Sherry asks, or is saying, if you use a corner trowel, it works pretty good. Yeah. I've got a few videos of that. A lot of people are like, those don't work, but they do. I mean, I can go probably faster with a 6-inch knife is what I usually use, but I have done some videos just to show that you can use a corner tool. And actually, I think it's a good option for DIYers. If you can watch a video and see how to use it, I think it works out good. So Sherry, do you get pretty, obviously you get pretty crisp corners with the fibofuse. My thing is it tears if you're using a 6-inch knife, there's potential for it to tear from the knife. What's your thoughts on that? Duty Ron says new construction is not a guarantee for perfect tape and spackle. No, it's pretty much a guarantee you're going to get a crappy job because they're doing piecework and they don't care. You get the tail light warranty. When you can't see their tail lights leaving, ain't nothing going to happen. And the builder is just subbing stuff out. So I agree with that one, Duty Ron. Ghost Pirate, yeah, I'm used to Chris Corners doing it old school. Yep. Guru Buddy, paper tape or mesh in corners? Paper tape, 100%. Renaissance Man, talking to Ruben Cortez, to get rid of the belly, you need a stiff knife. I've bought large masonry trowels. They are stiff and taper the high spots. I have just recently bought level 5 knives. More money though. Yeah, I want to try out some of those level 5 knives for sure. Chris H, pulling 30-year-old wallpaper off today, Paul, and it is not fun. 70% brown paper exposed. Yeah. The problem with 70% is the gray paper is and the brown paper combined is what gives drywall all its strength. Once you get down to the rock and no paper, you have no strength in the drywall. I'd suggest what Renaissance Man uses is the 3-foot wide fibofuse. It comes in rolls and you can just mud and go over that. But you want to prime it first with the guards or the Pro 999 that we talked about earlier in the stream. 90%. Yeah, you definitely want to pay a little more attention to doing it right. And it might be better to tear the drywall out and start over. I don't know though. I think you could pull it off. Is it your house? You could do a tester, get the guards, prime it, and mud over it, and it might be fine. Ghost Pirate is not a fan of mesh tape. Yeah, I mean, it has its purpose on repairs. The thing about mesh tape, a lot of people complain about it, that it cracks, this, that. Manufacturers of mesh tape say to use a hot mud, not all-purpose, not light, not any premix mud. Use a hot mud with the fiberglass mesh tape. That helps it not crack. So I've really never had a problem with the mesh tape cracking because I always use hot mud with it. If you read the directions on most of those fiberglass mesh tapes, they say to use a hot mud or quick setting mud that comes in a powder form. Launchpad Astronomy, how you doing, bro? Thanks for stopping by, Christian. Modern Day Tech, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Ralph's Trucking says, why I marked all errors on my new build and the come 12 months after to touch up. Wow. Yeah. Kathy from Texas just came in. Thank you for having this chat. I want my husband to be around next time. Cool. I'll be coming live again next Sunday at 2 p.m. What else we got here? Modern Day Tech saying hello to everybody. Kathy from Texas is in Houston. Let me get back here. Renaissance Man, the level 5 are amazing. You just got to use them to experience the difference. Makes level 5 coding easy, worth the coin. Yeah, I'm on it. Arthur Moorhead, laser levels are okay for short distance of 3 foot, but not good for anything longer because they drop at longer runs. You have to use a good quality laser level. Rent one. Hey, good tips, Roger. Cliff Manhurts, do you recommend skim coating an old beat up plaster or going over it with 1/4-inch drywall? I'm a pretty big fan of skim coating. If you do go over it with drywall, you're going to need mud rings around all the outlets, jam extenders for the doors. You're also going to have a seam at the ceiling. And you're going to have to take the baseboards off. So when in doubt, I try and skim coat unless, like when you're saying the old beat up plaster, depends how beat up and how cracked up. But a skim coat will make your walls new again. So that's usually the best option instead of putting a 1/4-inch. Another thing is I don't really like the 1/4-inch drywall because it tends to be wavy. It's not like 1/2 inch or 5/8. When you're looking at a wall, it's like this because it's just real wavy. What else we got? Kathy from Texas talking to Roger. My mom's old house has popcorn ceilings in the family room. When Paul says don't touch it, does that mean asbestos? When was the house built, Kathy? Anything before 1982, you need to get tested for asbestos. I have an asbestos test kit. It's like $20 or something, but you get a sample and you send it off and then you get the results online. It's pretty easy to do. Let's see if I can drop a link to my Amazon store. No. Oh, thank you, Neil. Renaissance Man talking to room. Mine as well, 20 years, but the 24-inch masonry trowels and larger good for tapering humps in walls and ceilings. Yeah. Arthur Moorhead loves skim coating. That makes 2 of us, Arthur. I mean, it just is amazing what you can pull off with a skim coat. Who do I need to call to get rid of popcorn ceiling and old home renovation? That's a good question. I would just Google your popcorn removal and then put in your area. I think that could help you find somebody. You do it saying he might get snow here tomorrow in Jersey. Miss You Do It said the weather shifted a bit. So I guess you'll see. What's the weather at Roger Wakefield in Dallas? Kathy's asking. All right, guys. So I've been on here an hour, so I think I am going to call it a day. Thank you so much for stopping in. Go check out my Amazon influencer store, and I will see you on Sunday at 2 p.m. next Sunday. Be there or be square.